Come on now, let's do what we do. Yeah. Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen. This is Secret Service Sam, the podcast, YouTube. I am now live on here. Please, guys, join me on here. I'll wait as you come into the room. Peace and blessings. Pretty hot, okay? Thank you. Guys, come on into my comments and let's talk. Ask me any questions you want, and I will flaunt my abilities to talk to you. It's steady. Don't call me Freddie. My name is Samson. Yeah, I'm always ready, man. Ready, Eddie. Oh my God, there's something in a river that goes crazy and will swirl you around. But if you don't know where your soul is, you'll be lost, not found. Yeah, come on into the chat, folks. What do you think about that? Let's bring that music. Yep. All right. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. This is Secret Service Sam. I'm just plugging in my computer. I just got done with some morning auditions. God, auditions are not fun at all. If anybody's ever had to do them, you usually have to memorize a few pages of text that you'll most likely never say again. You most likely don't even get the audition, but you have to still get up. I had to put on my suit, and everything. Right now I'm just in my Nipsey Hussle wear Slauson. I could put it on my suit jacket if I wanted to, but I'm gonna keep it cash for you guys. Just to let you guys know, I am today I have my notebook out from inside the Diddy courtroom. I don't have a ton of time with you guys today, but I wanted to get into just starting from where it all began for me. And for people who don't know, I'm Secret Service Sam. I'm a comedian, comedy journalist. Oh, Cookie wants to go out. Charlie, let Cookie out, the dog. And, I started on TikTok only about 6 months ago. I had about 10,000, not even 10,000 followers. Now I have over 500,000. And the Wall Street Journal had asked me, Sam, there he is. Sam, the Wall Street Journal, who just exposed a birthday note that Trump wrote to who on his 50th birthday. Anyway, I'm digressulating. But totally digressulated and got off topic. Sorry, guys. Anyway, the Diddy trial started with the Wall Street Journal asked me if I was going to cover the trial. I said yes. And that started a journey. I only thought I was going to go to New York once. And I ended up, I don't even know, I lost count of how many times I went to New York over the last 2 months. My son just said 5, but I think it was almost 10. It was way more than that. So here's something, just hopping in to my journal. The first page names Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, Michelle Williams, Dallas Austin, Lauren London, Don Richard, Cassie Ventura, Kid Cudi. Diddy could buy his way out is something I wrote on the first day. I don't know. That was what a lot of people were speculating. What's up? Some Herculean takes Secret Service Sam the podcast, except it's not that secret, but because you're here. Yeah, thank you. That feels good that you know my little theme song. It's so terrible. I'm working on getting a better theme song. It's Secret Service Sam the podcast. It's super secret show, but it's not a secret because you're here. Yeah. Anyway, so on my first day, I have written, I met Gloria Aldrich. Now I have to make sure not to show, I can't show my notebook to the screen anymore because I don't want to, I got phone numbers from different contacts throughout this process. So I don't want to be doing that, but I didn't. But I have written, I met Gloria Aldrich and I asked her, are you excited? We were at that point, this was jury selection and I was in the overflow courtroom because when I went there the first time, I did not expect to get inside the courtroom at all. To be honest, thank God to the Wall Street Journal because I had no idea what I was going to do. I didn't want to tell them that, guys, Patriots, because in life, when you don't know what you're doing, but you're good at something and you can get the job done, just tell them yes. You always say yes. It's like in Ghostbusters when they asked Ray, "Are you a god?" Yes, Ray, you always answer yes, because we know the State Puff Marshmallow Man came after that. Anyway, I'm digressulating. I met Gloria Allrich. She's sitting in the front row of the the pews. They're like church pews in the overflow courtroom. And I said, "Are you excited?" She said, "That's not the word I would use." And then I have Diddy wave to his daughter. His mom was there. This was the first day, like, and so I'm seeing Puffy for the first time. We're seeing him on the monitor. Sorry, there's in the overflow room, there was a monitor. So before I was able, the first week I was not able to get, or the first couple of days I was not able to get inside the courtroom until I met Kay, my line guy, and started paying a line sitter, and then eventually camping out in line myself. He made a heart emoji to his son. Diddy blew kisses to his son, made the heart emoji, which Diddy would come in the courtroom. And some people would say earlier, "Oh, Sam, you're fanning out." And it's like, no, I'm inside the courtroom. And Diddy would come in. He's just like looking at everybody and like, love, love. He's spreading love. And everybody's kind of like, this is so wild. We did not expect him to even make eye contact with any of us. But it was like he was on some weird late night show, not Stephen Colbert, because you guys heard it just got canceled today. By the way, CBS, if you're looking for a replacement, I'm good. I'm really good. I'm better than Colbert, actually. I love Stephen Colbert, but I'm just saying I'm more talented. I'm not bragging here. I'm just saying, if you want to have a competition, I sing, I dance, I play drums, I tell jokes, I go cover court trials and risk my life. I'm like a jackass journalist, pretty much. Anyway, I digressulate. I used to work for Dick House, the jackass guys on Wild Boys. Little fun fact about me. I actually, before Steve-O was crashing out on those little CO2 cartridges or whatever he used to do, I was in his apartment on his floor hanging out with him, watching it, because one of my good friends, Schliz, shout out to Schliz, was his assistant and lived with him. You guys might want to go back and check when he did Cribs, actually, on MTV. That is the apartment where Steve-O, they had like a skateboard ramp in there and they were wrecking everything. Go back and check it out. Anyway, I have Diddy was in a gray sweater. I said he looked like Mr. Rogers. Gray hair, except for the very front. Gray goatee. He was smiling, laughing with his female attorney, Tenny Garagos, who I now know. He had his glasses on. I remember seeing the reading glasses. My friend, when I just went home, he had the reading glasses on, and they make you look just so old, because everybody wears them down the nose. Diddy had them down the nose. I sometimes wonder how much he was advised to look like this Mr. Rogers, or kind of come in the courtroom kind of, we know Diddy like, yo, take that. And he's like, bad boy for life, glasses on. We're not seeing his eyes, sunglasses, really nice, fancy suit. None of that at all. Thank you so much that you love it. I just need to add music to it. You're right. What do I think about Uda on the Go? Who is this, CJ? Uda on the Go is great. I'll tell you something about Uda. He was there every single day outside reporting. I would see him get there at like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. He was there till 5 p.m. So I didn't see a lot of other live streamers working harder than him. Let's see. CJ, thank you for the question. Let's get back to the notes. I said I felt empathy for a man fighting for his life. And this was something interesting. I remember having this thought. When you get in there and you actually see Diddy, because this is past, I remember, I started the overflow and, because my notes go kind of day to day a little bit. They all kind of blend together now. But I felt empathy for somebody sitting on trial at the very beginning on something so heavy. I didn't feel bad for Diddy. I just was trying to imagine, could you imagine everybody in this room is going to lunch, they're going home at the end of the day, they're living their lives, they're joking while you and your life is on the line, but it's because he put himself in that situation. Guys, please feel free to ask me anything in the comments. That's how I can keep this going. I don't have a guest today. I do plan, I found the address in my notes to Cassie Ventura's apartment building where Brianna Bangladan was allegedly dangled over. So I will be doing a live from that with another influencer. So I think that'll be pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think here in these commentaries. CJ, do you have any other questions for me? Or Pretty Pat, let me know, guys. I'm here for you. The judge asked Diddy, did you get water? Diddy said, I could use a little bit more if you don't mind. The judge was very accommodating. Some people saying there that the judge was not a fan of Diddy, does not like him, and that's the reason he didn't get his the bail. That's why he got his bail denied. Some people thought because Judge Subramanian was not a fan of his. Side note, the reason I can say Judge Subramanian is because I had a video that one of my Indian fans made, and he was making fun of me and other influencers how we were pronouncing his name. So I've learned how to say that correctly. So that's good. So anyway, Diddy is pulling a Cosby, I wrote down, and he's trying to look sad, playing the victim. Diddy looks like he's extra trying to stay busy, I wrote down, because he was like, when he's in there, he's got his files and he's got books, and he's was always passing Post-it notes along to his lawyers the entire time he was. And I almost wanted to bring in binoculars and be like, what is he saying? You know what I mean? I never knew. Hey, AT2, how are you doing, sir? Thanks for joining. It's funny. You struggle with saying the name too. Let me pull this video up because this is so hilarious. I love this guy. Let me see if I can find it now. Hold on, guys. Yeah, it's always because it.
Subramian, really? I heard another reporter say submarinian. Come on, you guys. It's Subramanian.
Subramanian.
You have no problem saying Rotlesberger.
Follow this guy, Arun, for my life. He's a hilarious comedian. Subramanian. Hey, AT2, if you want to come on the feed with me, I can send you a link if you're interested, if you want to come chat. Also, AT2, I don't know if you heard, but I have Cassie's apartment address that I found, guys, in my notes. It is not listed anywhere. You cannot find it anywhere, but I have the address because I was in the courtroom and I wrote it down. Yeah, Subramanian. Even after hearing it, it's hard.
It's submarinian. Come on, you guys. It's Subramanian.
Subramanian. So, it's always good to get that down. Anyway, I will continue on with my notes. Subramanian, Judge Subramanian. Diddy, like I said, he's busy. They mentioned victim number 3, Gina Hun, a public interview or something I have written down. As we know, Gina Hun never ended up testifying. 9:34 a.m. court started. Jurors striked. Comey. So here was just the list. I don't know. Yes, the high-rise apartment. Exactly, AT2. If you want to go live with me from there, I would love to have you on. Like I said, I found it in my notes. I also have Kid Cudi's address to the house where the alleged arson took place. I am going to go to his house and do a live feed from there. What do you guys think about that? I'm just planning on taking this to the next level. I'm leveling up. I got a shovel, all my homies putting in the work, putting that shovel up in the dirt. Now, this was a point where they were going over striking jurors, okay? Comey said juror 51 strike, 216, 118, 81, 161, 163, 220, 324, 281. Agnifilo says jurors 52. These are jurors to be struck that they didn't like. 52, 106, 157, 112, 127, 131, 149, 22, 84, 25, 218, 240. I was saying 307 when this was happening, that I was like, you know, at the dentist when they're reading your teeth, like 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3, upper level 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. The molars, you know, I don't know. That's funny. Anyway, Diddy getting frustrated because Agnifilo messed up on some of the jury numbers I wrote down. I remember this where Agnifilo was like, wait a minute, which number was it? Correct. He would always, Agnifilo, I called him the bear because he'd always he walks kind of like, you know, the bear. And Diddy was like, yo, man, what are you doing messing this stuff up early? He was getting frustrated because Agnifilo messed up the jury numbers. For all this money, it looks unorganized, I wrote down. The government attorneys, this is interesting, at the very beginning, just to show you guys, because my opinion changed. I wrote down at the beginning, for all this money, Diddy's lawyers looked unorganized. The government attorneys, a line of badass women, I wrote down. Judge approved jurors, 25, 25, 28, 55, 58, 75, 116, 160, 184, 201, 217, 230, 234, 247, 292, 321, 330. Do I hear it? You know, government struck 7 black people from the juror is a pattern. And government says they have not conducted, they said the jury is diverse. This was an issue early on where they wanted to strike 7 black jurors. He seemed to hang. Well, yeah, I can't attest any of that. I did not witness that, CJ, at all. All I witnessed was Uda given lots of great energy, lots of great coverage. He was really the one who, when the lawyers were walking up in the morning, he figured out if you go down there where all the legacy media, they stayed there in a line with their cameras, which I understand because they want to give everybody the same shot. But something about us independent journalists, we don't all play by these same legacy media rules. So he was really one for kind of discovering that early interview with Mark Agnifilo. I had actually joined him on that one day, but I quickly realized that was his spot. He found it, gave it up to him. So anyway, I'm digressulating, okay? Let's, you know, there was also Aloha is one of my most favorite live streamers, T. Harris. There were a lot of great live streamers outside of the courtroom who never went in. So it was, they were always, and to be honest, the live streamers were the ones who had the most up-to-date information because Kealoha was a good friend of mine. She had one of her moderators in her live, which is genius, posting inner city press, which I would love, you know, when we get going on something again, that we'll go to inner city press and maybe one of you guys can moderate and be sharing in our comments what's going on. So anyway, I'm digressulating. Let's keep it going with the notes. I'm going to put a check here to let us know that we've gone over this. So again, it's interesting to point out that I thought the government attorneys had it much more together in the very beginning stages before any of the testimony was heard than Diddy's lawyers. But as you guys know, my opinion changed over time. Let's see here. Like I was saying, they struck 7 black jurors, which was kind of controversial. I have jury 51. She knew 17 names out of the list of people, knew all the kids, watched Making the Band, had favorable concerns of Diddy, fiance in prison on a drug conviction. So they struck her. So these are the jurors I'm reading you why they were struck. Juror 216, because they had been arrested 3 times, harassment of a police officer. He had a revelation in 2008 not to let police treat him like that. That raised a lot of red flags. He was struck. Juror 81, ex-husband, 21 years in prison for killing someone. She was still close with that husband. They thought because she was in prison, she would sympathize. Come on, guys. Come on with some more questions if you're still here. I'm just going over jurors that were struck. I'm covering my Diddy notes, guys. This is, you know, my whole, I mean, and I have 3 notebooks of this. I have like a book, which maybe I need to write I'm not sure what I'm doing with all this. Juror 161, 2 brothers who did time, felonies. He watched the news on Diddy, seemed 30% of income he would lose if he took the jury. He did not mind losing that. That seemed funny. So, you know, for anybody who is willing to be like, yeah, I will give up my income. I don't really care. I want to be on this trial. That was a red flag to people. Let's see. That was juror 161. 163, he couldn't read or speak English. He said he could be fair, or he said, when the judge asked, do you think you could be fair and biased? He goes, not really. And that got a laugh in the courtroom. I wrote down. It was a Latino man. He was struck. 223, same high school as Combs. He was struck. 324, he had sleep apnea, and he said at a traffic stop that he said it was at his home. When asked about police, he said they are a-holes. He was struck. 291, juror 291, victims can catch a case and jump on a bandwagon. She didn't think she could be biased. Discrimination was denied by judge. And then I have on my next page, jury let in, Diddy stares down the jury like, please let me off. And I remember the first time Diddy was seeing the jury, and this is, okay, so this is the first time the jury was let in. He was just kind of nodding at him, giving him nice nods. By the way, I love the bailiff. Every day, do you ever guys remember, hey, salute West in peace, appreciate the love, man. There's the court guy, the bailiff, who brings the jury, and he knocks. He goes, everybody stands up. The jury enters the room, and he would just go over and he would stand and he wouldn't look at him. He was like a Fraggle from Fraggle Rock. I just loved how the guy looked. And then the one jury guy who's been speaking mostly on all the shows, the only jury guy who's kind of interesting, he would come in and he would kind of smile. I never forget the first day he was smiling, and I was like, this dude, he's on the top level. He turned out to be an alternate juror because there was 16 people. We didn't know who the alternates were until the end, obviously, until he showed up on TV. And he would always have this kind of, hey, just kind of looking out at the audience like he was on a talk show. And it struck me as odd, like that he was really enjoying being seen. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to stop here for today. If you guys have any last questions, please ask me now, or forever hold your pieces. Aloha was just saying her daughter, Peanut, has her photo shoot today for modeling, so she couldn't go live today. Also, I want to give a shout out to Armand Wiggins, a shout out to Emily Knows Everything, Aloha, T. Harris. Who else am I forgetting? Just Diamond Star, Queen Shakur, Queen Amadaya Shakur. Who else? Michael Blackshire. If I'm forgetting somebody, it's just because I'm on the mo. But I want to let you guys know, independent journalism really won the day on this Diddy trial. So many of us were the ones breaking the stories inside and outside the courtroom in a way that legacy media could not. There are things that I can tell you and say that legacy media had to go get approval for that I was able to. Andre Nelson says, from your experience in watching this trial, does it seem like the victims are more important than the defendants right now? Of course, the victims are always most important. And this is a tough thing because the government, one of the court officers inside the courtroom said to me early on, he's like, these guys are like perfect New Yorkers. They're like, they over-indicted him. The government always over-indicts. He's like, you didn't hear it from me, but they over-indicted him. And so that was something early on I started to realize that Diddy is a terrible, terrible person. We saw the Cassie Intercontinental Hotel video over and over and over. It's gut-wrenching to see what he did to her. the way he drags her, the way he stomps on it. It's just disgusting to see any man do that. Even in the reverse angle, they didn't really talk about this, but he threw a flower vase at her head, right? They act like it was just on the ground, but you can see that in the reverse angle of the mirror. And so I think it's important to remember that none of the witnesses seem to want to testify. And it just, I think what ended up happening, they over indicted Diddy. They didn't have the RICO. They brought these witnesses on thinking they had a case, which was not fair to any of these witnesses. None of this case should have really happened in my idea. And I'm just a comedian journalist, but I feel like this should have been a state level domestic civil case. So I want to make sure we have support for the victims, because I think a lot of victims feel like, well, now how can we ever come forward? If we couldn't take Diddy down, how could I take my boss down here in Cleveland? And I hate any victim to feel like this is taking any steam away from of abuse, because it's always important to report it, talk about it, and get it out there so it doesn't happen anymore. But I think the difference in this is the government is to blame for even having this case and bringing these victims forward to face this unnecessary trial. Yeah, I know. I think we ended up taking that video down. There were some technical issues that Emily and I had with it, so we took it down. Anything else, you guys, before I get Audi 5 to my doghouse? I'm going to the beach today with the fam to Malibu, so you guys can check that out. What else here? Please subscribe to my YouTube if you're not already. I need to get this thing to 10,000. TikTok is just taking gross advantage of me, so that's why I'm trying to pull it all over here. But like I said, ask me anything in the comments before I get out of here. Great. Oh, thank you, Andre. I really appreciate that. I just try to do my best here, guys. I'm a regular person just like you. But I think this is good. We ended off, they wanted to have the court case over before July 4th. Diddy made eye contact with all the jurors. Statements by lawyers are not evidence. Only witness and documents are evidence. Opening statements outline of what attorneys believe evidence will show. And I will stop there for today. And I'm going to do this more, review my notebook, because it's interesting for me going back through all this. And you guys, I mean, it's crazy. It's all filled. So thank you guys for your time. Thanks for your questions. And I will have a lot more answer. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Perfectly Flawed. And isn't that great? We're all perfectly flawed. Aren't we? And I just thank you guys, because I'll be honest, I've been having a bit of a hard time after this Diddy trial, figuring out what's next. TikTok has been messing with my, taking away followers with my money. They kicked me out of the Creator Rewards program, and I didn't even know about it, even though I was filing reports over and over and over. I had 70 million views throughout the Diddy trial, and I got $170 for that. So it hurts, but I am a never, never quit kind of person. And I'm just thankful for what I have. I'm thankful for the breath that I breathe, light, love, health, happiness for all you guys. I wish you guys all financial wealth and health and the best. Please take care. That is my live for today. Like I said, I will be going live from Cassie Ventura's apartment, which nobody else has the address to unless you are also inside the courtroom, and Kid Cudi's house where the alleged arson took place. I will go live from there. Love you guys. Secret Service Sam out. Samson for president of it's the world. It's the world at this point, guys. Yo. Yo. Secret Service Sam has to get out. If you like this, then yes, please shout. Andre Nelson, what's that 5 about? If you're talking about giving money, yo, let's shout. I'm going to put my cash out, let you know what's all about. I got 3 kids and they got hungry mouths. Come on. Yo. This is Secret Service Sam. It's a Secret Service podcast. It's not so secret because you are here. Secret Service Sam, the podcast is not so secret because you are here. You are here, and you are dear to me and my heart all this year. I love you. Secret Service Sam, oh yeah, that's the podcast. Yo, peace. Peace.